Fire up your smokers, guys. We're gonna be updating a classic childhood snack, Franks and beans. That's right, it's coming back. There's smoke, there's sweet heat, there's bourbon. Get ready and let's get to it. Hey, what's shaking? I'm Brad Pros. Welcome to my channel. You're probably here looking for new ideas about grilling and barbecue. If that's you, click subscribe below and let's get into it. Today we're going to talk about updating one of my favorite childhood classics, Franks and beans. You're probably rolling your eyes if you're about my age. I bet you haven't had it in decades. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, a lot of my barbecue sides were straight out of a can. Soft, mushy textures, usually heated in a pan right on the stove or the microwave. But today we're making Franks and beans. I love hot dogs, I love baked beans, and I'm so excited to share this updated version with you. First, I'm gonna break down the ingredients so we can talk about how to customize this for you. Second, we're gonna cook it and I'm gonna eat it, and hopefully you guys try it too. So let's get to it. So first up, Franks. We're gonna smoke them today, kind of like you would do for making burnt ends, except for essentially they're gonna be hot dog burnt ends. Now what I'm gonna use are little Smokies. So these are a little bit different. If this doesn't hit you with nostalgia, I don't know what will. So these are already smoked, and I have to do a lot less work. I'm probably just gonna open them up, season them, and throw them on the smoker. You can definitely cut them into smaller pieces if you want to, but these are my preference. If you're going to use hot dogs, I recommend buying the skinless Franks because you'll want to cut these into smaller bite-sized pieces, which I'll show you in a little bit. That'll add more texture. Your next choice is beans. Now, I've made baked beans from scratch. It's a lot of work, and I don't think it's worth the reward. It does taste a little bit better, but there's some really great alternatives out there just to speed things up. I recommend grilling beans. And these ones are made specifically by Bush's. This isn't a sponsored recommendation. This is just what I like to use. I find that these cans have more robust flavors and the beans themselves are a little bit meatier. So I think that they hold up better when they're being stewed for a long time. As far as your flavor choice goes, whatever you think tastes good. You really can't go wrong here. Your next choice is going to be probably the most important choice, which is your barbecue sauce and your barbecue rub. And both of these two elements, depending on what flavors you put in there, are really going to change the flavor profile of the Frank and beans overall. For barbecue sauce, I like to keep it traditional, just kind of sweet with a little bit of heat. You can definitely add chipotles and adobo. You can have a mustard-based sauce, whatever you want to do, throw it in as long as you think that it tastes good. Now your next choice is going to be the rub that you use. Now, I do recommend using a rub that probably tastes better for pork since we're going to be using little Smokies or hot dogs, whatever you choose. I like this one by Reload, which is called Double Action. This is a sweet and smoky blend, and I know that it's not going to be too spicy for my kids, but it's going to be packed with flavor, and anything that adds a little bit more smoke flavor, I'm all about. The last big choice you have is what vegetables to use. So I'm going to be using a sweet onion. You can use white for a little bit more of a sharp flavor, and if you want to pump it up even more, do a red onion. Add some jalapenos, add some garlic, whatever floats your boat. You just want something that you're going to like. It's going to go with the flavors that you have. All right, let's go smoke some Franks. These are already done. If you wanted to make hot dog burnt ends, you could take these, some butter, some barbecue sauce, toss them back in the smoker and caramelize them up, but we're gonna put them in some baked beans. They're gonna be pretty sweet. Sorry. guys the final bowl. I topped it with green onions, and I made some cornbread just to soak up all that sweet, smoky goodness. And here we go. I can't wait to try it. Right away, it hits you with that smoky molasses, that heat from the barbecue rub that we used. You can definitely taste the bourbon in there, which I love. Of course, there's tons of smoke flavor. This bowl is banging. It's so good. Huge hit with the family. My kids love it. We all love it. You guys got to try it. Thanks for tuning in today to my very first YouTube recipe. I'm really excited to share it with you guys. If you like what you saw, subscribe below, and then come back next week for a whole new video and another hit. Cheers.